infection, severe infection, then
during or after the birth?
Usually after the birth, but also you can have infection coming in during. Then you have causes like malaria, anemia. These are not solely pregnancy problems, but they are conditions that are aggravated by pregnancy. And a lot of women still die because of this. And then you have things like HIV, that's HIV, AIDS infection. And also, you still have difficult labor, and so on and so forth. These are the common causes. They are by no means, exhaustive, but these are the common causes. And the good thing is that, these are preventable causes.
Yeah, I was going to ask, why would a woman die of malaria? I mean, malaria. It's so common, and just about everybody knows what to take before even going to the hospital. Why would that happen?
Yes, you are right that, malaria is endemic in this country, and it's assumed that everybody knows what to take. But that's not, quite absolutely correct, because first is that, malaria is common in pregnancy. Your body's defense to malaria is reduced during pregnancy. And even if you know what to take, you don't necessarily have the means to either buy those things.
But are there any restrictions to the type of malaria medication that a pregnant woman can take?
There are restrictions, but I don't think those are the things that cause, that they are the major problems. There are restrictions. There are certain things you don't take, especially in the first 3 months of pregnancy, because it may affect the baby. But also, there are steps that have been, advocated, for prevention of malaria, because at the end of the day, prevention is better than cure. Okay. But it's for women to be aware of these steps, and also for them to have access to the things that they need to do. For instance, it has been advocated that women and their families should sleep under mosquito treated nets, and also that during the pregnancy certain medication can be given as part of an antenatal care package to prevent malaria, because like I mentioned before, your immunity to malaria is reduced in pregnancy, and if you do get malaria, it can become more severe. But for majority, again, some of the statistics that you didn't give earlier is the fact that access to maternity care is still, poor. You still find that, less than 60% of our women actually have any form of formal antenatal care.
You can see here some women being educated. They are pregnant women, and somebody seems to be teaching them something. Is this of much benefit to a pregnant woman? Are these some of the strategies that can be used to reduce maternal mortality?
Yes, because knowledge is power. It's important, to give all these health talks, for the women to be knowledgeable about their condition and all that. So that is fine. But if you look at the profile of the women that are receiving the antenatal care, the antenatal lectures or talks, these are women, if you look at them very well, they are well-to-do. They already are accessing, antenatal care, and that is good. But there are a lot who are still not, coming to the facilities, who are not receiving any health care at all. So some of this, we still need to refocus our efforts so that we can reach these ones that are not in the clinics. We need to find out why they are not coming. But of course, cost again is an issue, but also ignorance, illiteracy and poverty. They tend to go together. But these are the target, areas that we must address.
Is it ever too early to start antenatal care? You know, some women, they actually feel ashamed, embarrassed when you say, oh, haven't you started your antenatal care? And they say, oh, it's just 2 months. It's too early. Is it ever too early?
Well, it's never too early, and in fact, in some situations, there is what is you also call pre-pregnancy care. Which means that you can even start caring for a woman in preparation for pregnancy. Okay. But these are in selected cases. Okay. It's generally recommended that by the time a woman misses a second period or misses a period for the second month, that woman should access care. But there are some women who already, for some reason of health, should actually be seen earlier. And like I said, preferably even before they become pregnant.
That brings me to the next question. There's a cause of maternal death which is called pre-existing conditions. What are some of these pre-existing conditions? I'm assuming that these are the category of women who should be seeing the doctor before they get pregnant. I mean, if some of these pre-existing conditions can be addressed.
Yes.
So what are some of these pre-existing conditions that a woman may need to see the doctor for before she even decides to get pregnant?
Yes. Yeah, some of these conditions are, conditions like I explained earlier that can be aggravated by the physiological changes in pregnancy. For instance, a woman who has an underlying cardiac problem, a woman with sickle cell anemia, those with diabetes, those with hypertension, so those with renal problems, because the pregnancy, if you like in plain terms, may impose certain stress and strains on their existing condition. And of course you have others like anemia and so on and so forth.
What are we doing about adolescent pregnancies in Nigeria? That seems to still be quite a problem. You remember that the statistics say that adolescent girls or young women are more vulnerable to complications. So that has to be looked at. Shouldn't it be looked at? What are the steps to take to address that particular problem?
This is a very important area that needs to be looked after. The adolescents are, if you like, they are the future leaders of this country, and it's sad that we lose some of these upcoming bright children, if you like, carelessly. Now, the problem of adolescent pregnancy, is the fact that ordinarily these are people that should be in school. And then the onset of pregnancy is an anomaly in itself. And,
an anomaly in itself.
In the sense that...
We're going to take a break right now. When we come back, we'll take it from there. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, your reactions. Welcome back. Dr. Ayodeji Olamijulo is in the house talking about maternal mortality, also called maternal death. And the number to call for your interactions is 01-2206-842. That's 01-2206-842 for your questions. And we were talking about you saying that it's an anomaly in itself. Do you mean an anomaly for every woman, or just because these are younger ladies?
Yeah, there are two aspects to this. I think one is biological, the other is, socio-cultural. Now, from the biological point of view, it's been shown clearly that maternal mortality and morbidity is higher in women under 20, and also begins to rise, after the age of 35 years. So, on its own, biologically,